Yo, what is going on guys, Flashverse here and welcome back to another video on Spider-Man No Way Home. And for this video, I'll be breaking down and explaining this scene involving Miles Morales, and I'll be theorizing about what could potentially be set up for this character in future Spider-Man movies post Spider-Man No Way Home. But for those who haven't watched Spider-Man No Way Home yet, I suggest you click off this video right now because I will be going over some major spoilers from the movie, which you certainly would want to hear from me. So if you haven't seen the movie yet, I suggest you save this video for later, so you watch the movie and then come back later for this video. But obviously for those who have seen the movie or those who just don't mind spoilers and are sticking until the end of the video, be sure to drop a like on the video and subscribe to the channel so you are aware of more MCU videos coming your way. Okay, so during the movie, we did obviously get this big massive battle where we had the three Spider-Men working together to take down all the other villains and cure them so that they are no longer a threat. It was an incredible scene where we got to see Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield and Tom Holland Spider-Man work together, interact with each other, and even swing together. And it was just so beautiful to see. Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man was my childhood, and Andrew Garfield is my favorite Spider-Man. So seeing them two work with Tom Holland's Spider-Man was honestly just amazing. But after everyone got cured, we had the Spider-Mans interacting with their villains. So we had this pretty wholesome scene between Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man and Dr. Octopus, where they were talking about their relationship from Spider-Man 2. But then we get this Miles Morales teaser where we had Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man talking to Electro after he has lost his powers, and he says, "I'm back to being a nobody." And then we have Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man essentially pep talking Electro. He's telling him that he was never a nobody and how he was a great scientist working at Oscorp. But we then had Electro talking about how Spider-Man was from Queens, New York, and how he continued to save people regardless of who they were, even the poor people, so he expected Spider-Man to be black, in which we have Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man apologizing to Max about it, in which Max does mention that there has got to be a black Spider-Man out there somewhere. This obviously being a direct hint to the one and only Miles Morales. Now, this is not them talking about a multiverse version of Spider-Man which will end up being Miles Morales or anything like that, because Miles Morales is actually canon in the MCU already, and we know that we will be getting Miles Morales in live action eventually. Now, for those who are confused about me saying Miles Morales is already canon in the MCU, he's already been established in the MCU because he has actually been name dropped before. If we take a trip back to Spider-Man Homecoming, we had this scene between Spider-Man and Aaron Davis. Now, for those who have no idea who Aaron Davis is, he is the Prowler, who is pretty much a villain for Miles Morales, but he is also Miles Morales' uncle. So we do know that they exist in the MCU. Now, to further confirm that Miles Morales is indeed part of the MCU, Aaron Davis says the following about Vulture's weapons.
I don't want those weapons in this neighborhood. I got a nephew who live here.
That nephew is obviously Miles Morales. We also had the deleted scene from Spider-Man Homecoming where we had Aaron Davis talking to someone on the phone, and he does actually say the following.
Yeah, sorry, Miles. I'm not gonna make it. Yeah, I'm just stuck.
So this is proof that Miles Morales is already part of the MCU, so it's only a matter of time before he actually shows up. Now at this point, Peter Parker was 14 years old, 15 or 14 years old, something like that, meaning Miles would have just been a little kid at this point during Spider-Man Homecoming. So what is possible over here is that during Thanos' snap, Peter Parker obviously got wiped out of existence and then he came back 5 years later. So it is possible that during the snap, Miles is one of the lucky people who survived it, and they could essentially use this as a way to align Miles' age with Peter's age so that it could set up this friendship between Peter and Miles Morales. That is something that's possible. They could also play around with it so that they could essentially just change Miles' age, because they didn't really specify what age Miles Morales was during Spider-Man Homecoming, so they could just easily age him up and just align him with Peter Parker already, and maybe he could be a classmate in his new college. They could also make it so Miles is Peter's neighbor in his new apartment which he's moved into. But yeah, we do know that there have been like really heavy rumors about Tom Holland extending his contract for 3 more Spider-Man films. These are not just like, these normal rumors. These are like highly likely rumors which are most likely to happen. And those films are obviously going to be Spider-Man 4, 5, and 6. And these new Spider-Man films will essentially be focusing on Peter Parker in his college years. He is much more matured at this point, and he has really evolved as the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. And it is highly likely that we will be getting a live-action Miles Morales setup in one of these movies, possibly during Spider-Man 4. So we could have something simple like Miles sees Spider-Man swinging across the city, and then he looks up, in which we could then see like someone calling his name from a distance. So his mother could be like Miles from a distance, and that could be that one teaser we get during Spider-Man 4, whether it's a post-credit scene or whether it's during the end of the film. Some teaser like that would be really cool to see. And then for Spider-Man 5, this is where we could have Peter and Miles being friends. And then this could set up Miles' origin story with him being bit by the spider. And then for Spider-Man 6, we could then have it so Tom Holland's Spider-Man is the mentor to Miles, because Tom Holland's Spider-Man would have really grown and he would have really been more of an adult by Spider-Man 6. So it would just make much more sense if we do have the two Spider-Mans, Miles Morales and Peter Parker, working together for Spider-Man 6. So Spider-Man 6 could essentially be the film where Miles finally becomes Spider-Man. Now, after Spider-Man No Way Home was released, Tom Holland did very recently do this interview where he did mention that he wants to have a break from Spider-Man. And the only thing with this is he has also expressed countless times his love and passion for the character of Spider-Man, and he has also said that he would love to continue playing this character for as long as possible. And the ending scene for Spider-Man No Way Home pretty much 100% confirms that we are getting Spider-Man 4. And this is where we have Peter moving into a new apartment. He's having this new life. He's having this incredibly comic book accurate Spider-Man suit. And the idea behind this suit is pretty much that he took inspiration from the other Spider-Man and how they made their own suits and how they made their own gadgets. Whereas our Peter Parker in the MCU has always been someone who's relied on tech. So I really love this idea of this new suit and how it pretty much shows how much he has grown as a hero and how much more confident he has become as Spider-Man. Another thing which pretty much also confirms that Spider-Man 4 is happening is that Amy Pascal and Kevin Feige have confirmed that they are in development for Spider-Man 4 already. So we are getting Spider-Man 4, and Tom Holland is not going anywhere anytime soon. Now, I thought I should mention this because it is actually pretty interesting, but John Campea, and for those who don't know who he is the YouTuber who essentially leaked the photos of Tobey and Andrew being in the movie. He went on to mention that the person who sent him these leaks also sent him this photo of someone in a mocap suit. But this person was taken out of the theatrical cut, meaning they are saving this person for another future MCU project. Now, it can't be Miles Morales because we have never seen him before, nor did he even get his own origin story in live action yet. It is possible that it is the Prowler, but my safe guess would be that this is just totally unrelated to Spider-Man No Way Home, and I think that they wanted to save this character for Doctor Strange 2, so I think whoever this person in the mocap suit is going to be tied to Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, and we will be seeing this person in the mocap suit in that film. But yeah guys, thanks for watching. If you guys have enjoyed the video, please give a like and subscribe. Be sure to tell me in the comment section down below if you guys would love to see Miles Morales in an upcoming Spider-Man movie. And yeah, I will see you guys in my next video.